Titans, Steelers, Thursday Night Football, a Week 9 matchup to start off Week 9 in the NFL. I'm Jay Sanders. You're watching Titans Today, and we have a full Titans versus Steelers preview for you on today's show. Listen, this is a big game. You got Will Levis making his second start. Could he cement himself as the number one quarterback on this team? Ryan Tannehill not playing this game because he's injured. Well, maybe Levis can make it so he doesn't play again. Plus, Kenny Pickett playing on the Steelers even though he was injured last week. We're going to talk about all the ins and outs of this matchup. But before that, hit the like button on today's video if you want the Titans to beat the Steelers. We're trying to get to 300 likes. I know that sounds like a lot, but I believe in Titan Nation. And if you hit that like button and we get to 300 likes, I almost guarantee a Titans win and a good start from Will Levis. Speaking of Will Levis, he's making his second start in the NFL let's hope he keeps that magic going from last week, which let's say he played good. Good is a good word. 4 touchdowns, baby. Yeah, that's nice. That's what I expected. Get that Ryan Tannehill guy out of here. Will Levis actually decided to throw it to DeAndre Hopkins, and look what happened. It worked. 19 for 29. Not the greatest, not the worst. That's all right. 238's there. 8.2 averages, also pretty adequate. And might I say, he looked good in the throwback Houston Oilers uniform. I mean, everybody did, but I think it suited well for him in his first game as a Titan. And now you go against the Steelers and Kenny Pickett. Now, Kenny Pickett was injured last week against the Jaguars. He hurt his ribs, but he said yesterday personally himself, he will play. Now, to what extent is he going to be fully on board? How is Mike Tomlin going to use him? Well, that's kind of going to be a work in progress, wait to see type thing until tomorrow night, which, by the way, we will be live for, so make sure you join us here on Titans Today. We're going to get the party going at around 6:30. Maybe 6:45, with the game being at 7:15. Make sure you join us. We're having a live watch party. But for Kenny Pickett, his last 3 games, well, I don't know the best way to describe them, but overall, satisfactory maybe is the best word, but not above average. 10 for 16 last week. It was a rainy day. Jacksonville coming into town. Yeah, I'm going to give him a pass on that one. Also hurt his ribs in the game, so didn't get to play the whole time. Versus the Rams and Ravens. Rams, 17 for 25, 230. That's a lesser defense, though, where Ravens, 18 for 32. That completion percentage was abysmal. The yardage was, I'm going to say, there, I guess. Touchdown, though, that kind of helps his stats there on the Ravens game. So you have Will Levis, who is a rookie. You have Kenny Pickett in his second year. Who do you think is the better quarterback in this matchup? Is it Will Levis? Well, then type WL. If it's Kenny Pickett, well, then type KP. Listen. We're going to find out exactly what both these quarterbacks have this week. The Steelers' defense is a little not that great. The Titans' defense played well last week. I think they can play well again. I'm going to tell you, actually, I'm going to give you a break, and then I'll tell you exactly what I think about this. I think it is Will Levis. I think he is the better quarterback of these two guys. Now, why do I say that, even though he's only had 1 game when Pickett's had a little bit over a year? That's exactly why. Kenny Pickett has had over a year, and hasn't had a game where he's thrown for 4 touchdowns. He hasn't had a game like what Will Levis had against a Falcons defense who was really good. I'm not going to say they were like, the Legion of Boom, but here's the thing. When you're ranked 3rd in yards per game allowed, and Will Levis, a rookie in his first game, comes out and just scorches you for 238 and 4 touchdowns, well, that kind of says something. The good news is it's a Thursday night game, so we don't have to wait till Sunday. We're going to find out tomorrow on who exactly is the better quarterback. Now, is it going to be exactly this guy's the better quarterback because his team won? I don't know if it's that, but they're going to play each other, and we're going to see them side by side. How do they look? We will find out tomorrow and get full looks. Speaking of tomorrow, make sure you get your entries in on Prize Picks, the sponsor of Titans Today. And my, oh my, it's a great sponsor indeed. Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America, and it's the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks. You pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Check it out at prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season has been the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Now let's get my entries here for this week. I've got 3 right now. I may go to 4, throw a Steeler guy in there, make it less there, but I'm going the Moors all across the board on the Titans for my 3 entries here. Will Levis, more on passing yards. He had 230 plus last week. I think he'll do that again with a Minka-less Steelers defense, which we will talk about here in just a moment. Derrick Henry, he's had 2 100-yard rushing games this year. I think he'll get close to it. I don't know if he'll get to 100, but that's a 70 number right there. He's going to get more than 70. I'm going the more on his rushing yards. And then Derrick Henry and Okonkwo, the half rushing or reception touchdown. Derrick's going to do that himself. I think he'll score a touchdown in this game. And if he doesn't, I have Okonkwo on the back end of that. That could possibly maybe get a touchdown as well and really secure that entry to hit. Again, I may put a 4th in there. We'll see. Make sure you go put your entries in at prizepicks.com/CLNS and then use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Shout out to Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. Let's go to keys to victory for the Tennessee Titans, with the first one being DeAndre Hopkins and keeping him hot. Now, it's no surprise that you give him an adequate quarterback, and he shined. Last week, played very well. 6 targets, 4 receptions, 3 touchdowns. He had none with Tannehill. And you can see from that picture there, I think D-Hop and Will Levis like each other. Or at least they have a good connection. That's all that matters there. 128 on the yards on the day for DeAndre. The connection was there, and hopefully it continues into this week as they will try to exploit a bad Steelers defense, which leads to our second key to victory. The Steelers defense has not been the greatest this year, and without Minka now, which we'll talk about in just a minute, they are going to be even worse. In fact, they are 30th in the NFL in yards allowed per game. 382.6. You're kidding me. Now, they will be missing a key piece in Minkah Fitzpatrick, as mentioned, which secondary-wise, well, that's not that great. 18th in points allowed per games at 21. This defense is not great, especially when you compare them to the Falcons' defense from last week. This is a less superior defense. No Minka. That also helps out. He injured his hamstring in the Jaguars game, and not to kind of depress Steelers fans out, but the Steelers are very cryptic with their injury designations. They've just said hamstring, and, well, I don't think he's going to be playing for a little bit. Let's just say that. The injury he sustained did not look that fun, and a wet and rainy day, those can always be bad times to slip and fall. Make sure you predict the score in the comment section of today's video. Titans fans, I want you to let me know what you think the score will be for this Thursday night game. Titans, Steelers, give me your score prediction. Do you think the Titans will win? If so, by how much? If you think the Steelers win, well, let me know by how much. Get in the comments and predict the score today. The third key to victory is to give it to King Henry. Now, Derrick has had an amazing year, and let's hope that continues against the Steelers tomorrow. If you look at his stats across the board, 120 carries, that's 5th. 526 yards, that's also 5th. 3 touchdowns is a little low for a guy like Derrick Henry, but rushing touchdowns has been, I'm going to say, a little up this year for what it is. Also, the Titans have had their bye, so the fact that he's 5th in yards and carries with that bye already, when some guys above him haven't had the bye, well, that says something there. And then he's 8th in 75.1 yards per game. I want King Henry to get going. He had a good game last week with over 100 yards, 101 to be exact. And I want him to do another good job this week, helping Will Levis kind of flow into this offense really nice. Let's make Kenny Pickett uncomfortable as well. He is injured. He is not fully healthy. And so, to what extent is going to happen? Well, we know this. He is not fully healthy. However, he is still on the field. So what does that mean? It means go make him uncomfortable. If he wants to go out there and be a tough guy, that's fine. I respect that a lot. But you have to know, Mike Vrabel, send the house. Blitz. Make him uncomfortable. Make him make plays. Not only has he been bad about that early in the early part of his career, but now that he's injured, he's got to have a little bit more sense of urgency to get that ball out. Okay, my score prediction, I'm giving it to you. I've got the Steelers taking over this one, 21-17. I know it's tough, but it's going to be pretty close here. We'll see what happens, though. Let me know your score prediction in the comment section of today's video. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see. I'm hoping the Titans can come out and pull out on top. We appreciate you watching, as always. Make sure you like the video if you love the Titans. Big matchup coming up tomorrow. We're going to have a full watch party for it. I appreciate you, as always, and we will see you tomorrow for that Titans watch party. We'll be live around 6:45 Central Time. Peace out.